Hello again. I just thought I was filming and I wasn't actually. I look like I'm in a good mood. I'm not in that great mood. Kind of tired. I'm kind of okay. We're from a very special location today. Um, I'm not sure I filmed from here before. This is kind of like our yard in the building. That's my apartment and that's their apartment. So maybe we'll even get to see some wildlife today. Commies in their natural yuppie habitat. See, I'm fucking up because I've already said this mostly. What was I gonna say? So we reached a point in this series where I'm like, where do I start now? Because, well, and I suppose there is a point. So I, at one point or another, kind of just spieled about like a couple of women that I've been with, and the things they kind of put me through, and the things they kind of did, and the kind of backwards, forwards talk they were giving me. And eventually, I just sort of got tired. I was like, I've had some great sexual experiences, and none of these women are treating me or acting like someone I can have a relationship with. So I just sort of gave up for a number of years. And one day, I met this girl named Stacey, this woman named Stacey. I believe it was 8 years difference, actually. Anyway, and we hooked up, and she was in Malta. And it was just a hookup. It was just something I was like, well, honestly, she's not hooking up with anyone better than me. It is what it is, and I didn't expect it to erupt in a relationship. And it's kind of a weird, interesting story as to how it happened. And I guess that's kind of where we start. So I hook up with this girl, and I actually take her virginity. It's like, oh, hey, it's a good experience. Goes, blah, blah, blah. We like each other. We can have good conversations. I think, maybe in the future, she's a bit young. She's like literally like freshman year college, basically. She's a bit young. And I'm like, no, there's really no way this was a hookup, but we're good friends, and like we will make good friends, and maybe in the future this will work out really good. And I'm not going to stop talking to you because I like talking to you. And she's under the impression I'm going to stop talking to her. So I keep talking to her, and I'm here in New York and she's in Malta. And she's like, oh, I really like you, and I'm like, I really like you too, We should be going out right now. And I'm like, aren't you just starting college? Like, I took your virginity. Like, you're gonna have like experiences. Go have experiences, like, go have fun. But she doesn't want to stop talking to me, and she doesn't want to stop talking to me like I'm special. And was never going to stop talking to her, just for nothing. So it keeps going, and she ends up with this guy named Tony, and I'm not over there, so it's not like I can get jealous. But it's like, can you just not talk to me like I'm special while you're with him? Because that's a little fucking weird. Like, we're definitely not both with you together. If we're trying to make this work somehow in some future time, and you're supposedly trying to get with me, you can't be trying to get with me and getting with that guy and being like, I'm thinking of you, because that's disgusting to me. So eventually, what happens? We get into an argument about something I don't even remember. Then eventually, Tony becomes physically abusive, and she stops getting with Tony. We had a plan where she was going to visit New York City for a couple of weeks. I think it was 10 days. Yes, 10 days. And she comes visit. And we were arguing at the time, but I was like, look, it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I would enjoy it too. Come visit. Don't worry. It'll work out even if we don't work out. And it works out really well when we end up going out. I don't even remember how long our relationship lasts. It was a long-distance relationship, which I 99% of the time just say no, no, no. But for some reason, she was really insistent about all these things. And I'm like, well, I do like this person. If it's working out right now, and I can't quite explain why, fuck it, let's do it. Eventually, I get into this situation where I'm working for this guy. And I say, okay, if you want, because she says, oh, do you want a video call Friday? I was like, oh, that night I was going to go work with this guy. But, because I want to talk to you, I'm not going to do that. She goes, no, go work. And I was like, no, I really don't want to. I'd prefer to talk to you. No. And basically, we end up in a situation where I don't go to work, and she specifically avoids talking to me that night. She says she was sleeping. Point is, we end up breaking up due to that. Because if I'm long distance and I'm specifically making time for you and you want to, and then you're going to specifically avoid me and say it's for me, no. Especially when I'm making time for you and you have nothing better to do. And it's just like, no, because it's not like we have time to hang out anyway because it's long distance. So no. So we break up. And I guess that's going to be the end of this episode, because quite a bit happens between that and us getting back together a while later. Quite a bit happens, but I'm a bit fatigued, a bit tired. I would like to say that by this point in the story, I'm already on Compassion and Anarchy and debating with people. I would like to say that my first conversation with Stacey was actually about Star Wars, which is awesome, and Darth Vader's prosthetic parts. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I didn't even bother going away from the yard. We got here. They're fixing the roof, so we got scaffolding here. It looks darker than it actually is. It's still pretty dark. It looks brighter than it actually is. It's pretty dark at this point. My bad. Anyway, thanks for your time if you bothered watching any of this. Later, next week, what I'll do is I'll get into my time at this company called Corporate Concepts. And when I actually ran into Noel Goldstein, because Noel Goldstein tried to get a job at Corporate Concept, and Noel Goldstein is one of the Antifa currently trying to basically harassing my family as though we are the capitalist elites he talks about. And I guess we are, because we are workers who save money and buy property and so forth. So we're not supposed to exist in his schemata. We're specifically the demographic. Communism is supposed to brainwash out of their identity. One of them, anyway. That's not the point. Point is, I actually run into young Goldstein as a guy pretending to have lots of experience in sales, who brings up drugs, Adderall, midway through the day at work. Suit and tie work, while trying to get a job, while essentially on a job interview. It was pretty fucking hilarious. I fired him immediately. That shit broke immediately. Breaky. I can't even believe it. That's the only guy that's stupid. And then later I have a story about Mr. Sanchez, the one who was a police officer, the Antifa who was a police officer, and how he tried to get a job as a maintenance worker, and how it's you are one of the rare few people that cannot get the easiest jobs to get in all history of time. And these are the comments. It's amazing. And specifically because their standards are as such, where they either have to be incredibly childish on the job and not have anything expected of them and have high praise, or the high praise has to come first with a bunch of money and a bunch of everything that you get for a certain amount of time of basically loyalty to your company or your supervisor, your manager or whatever, and luck. They want just immediately. That was Sanchez, Christopher Sanchez, not Brian Sanchez, a very good friend of mine whom I loved, who helped me throughout this experience, who was one of the few people who fucking believed me the whole fucking time. God bless you, sir. Sorry. It's just, he was Officer Sanchez at some point, and I am Chris. But, thank you. I love you. Chris Vela signing out. Chris Emmanuel Vela signing out.
Noble Savage out. Bye bye.